Alright, so this is an update on the bathroom. We're getting pretty close to finished and it'll be good. I mean, I'm going to have to come in and do some more insulating for the winter, but for the next couple months. Let me just show you the inside first. So here's, well, the outside is here obviously, and right along here going to have a gutter, and it's going to go into this section over here, and that's going to the rainwater is going to flush the toilet. It'll be a big tank and it's going to go right into the toilet. So inside I'm going to put two pieces of that twin wall greenhouse glazing above the door here, just to try to get a little more light. The design of this just did not allow for many windows. So we've got the partition wall up. This is going to get 2.5 inch insulation in the wall, exterior walls. So I'll put them on a table saw, cut them right in half on 24, and then just pop them right in. It's perfectly ready for the pink sheets. Whatever the good foam. I keep forgetting the name of it. So there's two bathroom, two flanges, two sewage flanges for the toilet. So the water line will come right out of through this wall from the tank right to the toilets. I'm only going to hook up one toilet for now. And I'm going to put a really nice commercial grade stainless sink on the wall, and the drain is going to go right into the top of the toilet. And the sink will be fed from the drinking water. So you wash your hands and then the water will go down the toilet and then you flush. So it's repurposing that water. About where this shelf is, there's going to be a washing machine. It will be powered by solar, and that's not immediately, that's later. I'm not going to provide a dryer, I'm just going to do a washer. And it'll be a warm water washer. That's a whole nother thing, but I'm going to use solar panels, convert an electric hot water tank to DC, and then I'm going to use that to warm the water up. And it should get pretty hot. It's not going to get steaming hot because it's going to be a 40-gallon tank, and it's going to have like 4 or 5 panels hooked to it. I'm going to try to get 1500 watts to the element, and that's half of what your regular tank uses. So it'll be warm water. It's going to pick up some ambient heat from the greenhouse area. Then it's also going to get heated by the water tank. So that will be warmish water. That will be for the laundry. And then here's the shower that I will get hooked up later. Right now I'm just shooting to get a toilet and a sink. But there'll be a partition wall here behind this door. That way you can go in here. It's a changing area. I'm going to have shelves on either side of the tub. Lots of storage space. And then the partition walls are only going to be, see the shape of that triangle right there? The partition walls are going to be similar. So there's going to be airflow over the top of the partition wall. So one partition wall for the shower, and then a partition wall with doors for each of those 2 stalls. The idea of those vents there is I'm going to put a solar fan on the other side, a nice strong solar fan, and it'll be on a switch, so you can turn it off in the winter because you don't want to pull all your heat out in the winter, but in the milder months or the hot months you're going to pull plenty of air through this bathroom. So there'll be another vent a little bit lower than that one, and those will be ducted out that way to the right, and it'll pull all of my hot air out of here and help keep it cool. Those vents, I'm going to have a vent on each side of the wall. I'm going to get vents here, you can see where they're going to go. Up here is going to be more of that twin wall glazing, 2 sheets of it, greenhouse glazing, just to let some light in here. So now I'm going to show you the rest of the water heating. So here's the other vents. So we're putting in a floor here. It's about 88 inches by about 8 feet, a little over 8 feet. So around 65 square feet. Now I already have the wood burning stove. So I'm going to put a wood burning stove. This is going to be a little kitchen, off-grid kitchen. So I'll have my floor in. And I'm going to put the wood burning stove right here. And then there'll be a nice window in this part of the wall and a nice window in this part of the wall. I open the windows and then we'll get a good breeze coming through. So when it's hot in here, when you're cooking and so forth. Now, my pipe's going to come up from my stove and it's going to run right in front of those vents, and then it's going to go out the side and then up. So it's going to be stainless on the upright, and it's going to be regular metal crossing here until there'll be a little piece of stainless when it goes out of the wall. Everything outside will be stainless, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'll obviously get the stack up above the peak, so it's going to have 290s. Not ideal, but it's a lower volume. It's a wood stove. It's not like a big giant wood burning furnace, and I think we're going to be fine. Anyway, the metal, the regular steel pipe, well, we're going to have a roof right up there. See that beam right above those? The roof's going to hook right into that, and it's going to be a shed roof, which means it's going to just be a straight roof angling back to me. So we have this natural funnel. All this heat from the cooking will go right into there, and we're going to use a different fan, not venting to the outside, but venting over to the greenhouse. So that middle greenhouse area, which I'll show you another time, we're going to be moving the air, the hot air through here, down there, and we'll probably put the vent lower halfway down the wall or something. That way we're kind of having a bubble of air at the top. And the vents on the other side, we'll shut them off, close them off. That way we're not losing all our heat out of our bathroom in the cold months. And this wood stove will not only be bringing hot air across and through those vents, it has a water jacket in it. So pipe in and pipe out, basically it heats water for you. So I'm going to plumb that also into the hot water supply for the shower, which is right on the other side, and the washer. So you're going to have hot water coming from the hot water tank all the way through the stove and then out to the shower and the laundry. That meaning that when anybody's in here cooking, you're getting free hot water out of the deal. And you're also heating the air, so you're getting a lot of duty out of that wood stove. So that's the off-grid part of this bathroom. That's the preheated water that comes from the ambient temperature of the greenhouse. Then it's heated by PV panels, and then it'll be heated yet again on the stove when you're using the stove. And then I'll also have a sink here and some counters. Probably do it galley style, which means you walk right in the door, and then you have the stove and a counter here, and then this aisles down the middle that stays clear, and then over here you'll have a sink. And I'm going to bring the sink kind of far forward. I might have a little extra room behind the sink compared to normal, because it's an exterior wall. I don't want to have to worry about freezing. So all the pipes are going to be as far in from the edge as possible. And then I'll just have some counters along here. So it'll be a galley style kitchen. And the roof, at that point, it's going to be just about 8 feet. From there up to there. Be about approximately 8 feet. So it's going to be less along the front, but I'm just going to put in a 6-foot sliding door and put a header in, and whatever, the 80 inches, it's going to be a 16-inch drop-ish. So that will be my pitch for my shed roof. And we're just using a railroad tie foundation. I'm going to dig out that, put another small piece. Those two pieces, one goes on the bottom, one goes on the top. Here's the top sill, and then I'm going to put another railroad tie across, and then I'm going to build my floor right off of it. So the floor joists are going to sit right even with the railroad ties, and then the flooring is going to go right over all of it. And again, I'll put the metal underneath, and then I'll put the insulation inside. And this will be easier than my last job because there's no pipes to work around. I just close off the bottom with metal, and you can see I put in a little skirt there to keep everybody out. So that's the general idea. Off-grid bathroom and off-grid kitchen. Lots of vents, lots of places to get the heat out of there during the summer. So you can just open the double doors and open the windows, have the screens, get some air flowing through there. That way it's not too hot. But the plan is to have no propane heat, no electric heat for the water. It's all going to be heated by the activity, human activity of cooking. So this bathroom and this kitchen will be available to the people that are out here in this area. So this is kind of like its own little area. It's not part of the larger homestead. This is more of a halfway between the world and our homestead. This is just to get to know people and see if there are kind of people, and then there'll be other arrangements later. But for now, all I have is a trailer there. Somebody's going to have to show up and help me clean that up if they want to stay in it. That little trailer is ready. It's tiny though, but it's better than a tent. That's always going to be temporary. Nobody's going to permanently stay in that. That's just, in combination with a tent or something, it's just a little bit better than nothing. So, and then this kitchen, I was going to show you my wood. As I'm working out here, I'm saving all of my scraps of oak. So I'm going to just have barrels filled with these wood scraps, and that will be for the wood stove. And any little chunks, like when we're cutting firewood, just the smaller pieces. That way it's already ready for a wood stove. It's gonna want small pieces. So part of our job as a community to keep these barrels full, to keep the stove burning. So I'll show you an update on this kitchen. I've already got the floor joist, so I'm going to put the floor joist in. I've already got, trying to clean this area up here. It's kind of a mess. But we've got some improvement on it. That windstorm just tore down some limbs, really hurt my chestnut tree there. But we're going to get all this cleaned up, and I'm going to just put the floor joist in so I don't just sit around and warp. I'll just get the floor joist in. The kitchen I'm going to pull off for a while. My next project is going to be insulating that tank. I'm going to insulate that tank, and then I'm going to get started on my solar deep freeze. So that will be making ice blocks for refrigeration. So that is my next. So, and that will be part of a greenhouse extension. I'm going to be putting in a patio, a sun patio for the winter, and that kind of is not necessarily going to be a traditional greenhouse, but it's going to be an area that we want that will be useful. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So anyway, this is Wiggle out. Thanks for watching.